Imagine walking into a town and finding everyone asleep, not just for a night, not just for a day, but for 7 long days. Men, women, children, even animals, completely unresponsive. This isn't a fairy tale. It's a story recorded in Europe in the 1600s, a mystery so strange that centuries later, people are still wondering what really happened. The story begins with silence. Traders from nearby villages noticed that something was wrong. For days, no one came out from the town. No farmers arrived at the market, no travelers passed along the roads. At first, people thought it was disease or maybe an attack. But finally, a group of outsiders gathered their courage and entered the village. What they found was unlike anything they had ever seen. The streets were empty, but not destroyed. Doors stood wide open. Food left cooking on fires had burned. Livestock wandered freely without care, and everywhere, lying in beds, on doorsteps, even in the fields, were the villagers. Hundreds of them, breathing, alive, but completely motionless in a deep, unshakable sleep. The outsiders tried everything. They shouted. They shook people violently. They poured cold water over them. But no matter what they did, the villagers would not wake. Doctors of the time examined them, but found no plague, no fever, no signs of illness. Priests were called, believing the town had been cursed. Outsiders camped nearby, too afraid to remain inside the village itself. Days passed, and the scene did not change. And then, on the 7th day, something incredible happened. At the exact same moment, every single villager opened their eyes. They sat up. They rose to their feet. They looked around in confusion. They were alive, they were well, but none of them remembered what had happened. What could explain this mystery? Over the years, many theories have been proposed. One theory is poisoning. Some historians believe the villagers may have eaten bread contaminated with ergot fungus, the same hallucinogen linked to strange behavior during the witch trials. But would it really put an entire village into a coma without killing anyone? Another theory is gas. Perhaps toxic fumes leaked up from underground mines or natural cracks in the earth. A sudden wave of gas could have rendered the town unconscious for days. Yet, strangely, there were no reports of dead animals or outsiders being affected. Then there are the darker explanations. Some claimed it was a curse, a punishment for sins cast down by God or by witches. Others suggested something far stranger, that the village may have slipped out of our world entirely, that for 7 days it existed in another dimension, before being returned unchanged. Each explanation raises more questions than it answers. The strangest part of all is that the town itself disappeared from history. Its name was never confirmed, its location lost. What survives are scattered fragments of folklore, whispers in old archives, and warnings passed down through generations. Parents told children not to wander at night, or the sleep will take you. Priests used the story as proof of divine power. And across Europe, people whispered that one day it could happen again. Even now, folklorists occasionally stumble on variations of the same tale, the sleeping town, a memory that refuses to die. So, what do you think? Was it poison, gas, a curse, or something far beyond our understanding? Here's a question for you. If you woke up tomorrow and found the entire world asleep, except you, what would you do first? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you love mysteries, legends, and unexplained stories, don't forget to subscribe because this is only the beginning.